walkers. Welcome to a video about week one, working with the feet, the arches, the ankles. The first thing that we talked about, working the feet, especially if you pronate, if your ankles fall inward, is towel scrunches. So touch a wall lightly, put a towel under your feet, and literally try and lift it up and wrinkle it. And you do this until you feel like you can't do any more, and then you're done. You don't have to use a towel, you can just have this action. Be sure and switch sides. So without the towel, it looks like this. You're just picking your toes up, spreading them, putting them down, and making a fist with your toes. So again, you do that until you feel like you can't do any more. I want you to notice my standing knee is bent while I do this. I'm using a wall, just touching lightly to support myself. Another exercise we did is drawing the alphabet. I like to do this seated on a stool or something that will help me keep my legs away from the ground so I can dangle. And all you do with this is simply use your big toe or all your toes and draw the alphabet, the capital letters, and 1 foot at a time. So you see what this does is take you through all of the possible movements of the foot. So you do 1 foot at a time, and then you do the other foot, going through the whole alphabet, A through Z, 1 foot at a time, rotating, go nice and slowly. I'm only on D. So that you really articulate the movement and use the muscles through each letter. Carefully and slowly articulate the movement so that you're not rushing and bypassing muscle groups. The next thing that we learned actually is also nicely done if you're lifted up away from something. So create a long spine, lean a little bit forward. Keep your feet underneath your knees in the beginning and your knees in line with your hips. This one is called foot clapping. So try not to move the knees and the upper leg. Just the lower leg goes out and the arches of the feet point toward the floor. The little toe side comes up, and then reverse that and try and bring the soles of the feet together. Try not to have a big movement in the knees. Try and keep the knees straight. You could put a little something between the knees, maybe a block, a yoga block would work if you can hug it. And you go out and in. They won't go all the way, you won't touch the whole sole of the foot together. But that action of going out, you're using the outer edge of the lower leg and then coming in. So you're working the outer edge. This is excellent if your feet supinate. So if your arches are very high, this will strengthen the outer lower leg to help you balance the weight on the inner foot when you have high arches. The alphabet is good for pronators or supinators, so no matter what arch kind you have, either arches collapsing or arches lifting, alphabet is great. Then we have 3 stretches to do for the lower leg. The first one leg back, 1 leg forward, you're touching the wall. Knee over ankle in the front, the back heel is pressing down into the floor. Lean the hips forward, press the back heel down. You're targeting a stretch in the back calf. The back leg goes straight, the front knee is bent. Lifting a little bit pubis to navel and then press the hips forward. Take a few breaths here. Bring your head over your spine, engage the abdominals. And after about 5 slow breaths, step about halfway forward, bend both knees, sit over the back heel, and seek out a stretch in the calf muscle. Your thigh muscle is going to work as well, but see if you can isolate and find a stretch in the back calf. There's 2 calf muscles, the gastrocnemius and the soleus, and this particular movement forward stretches the soleus. So then be sure and switch sides, sink the back heel, front knee over ankle, pubis to navel, head over the top of your spine, leaning forward to stretch the calf, and you stay about 5 breaths. Back leg goes straight. And then take a little step in, bend both knees, sitting more over the back heel, targeting the soleus. So you have to kind of hunt and peck to find it. Okay, the last stretch for the lower leg and the foot is the top of the foot stretch. So this can send you into a cramp. We don't often stretch the top of the foot. So bend your knees generously, take weight in one leg, take the other foot back, look how much I'm bending to get there, and lightly press the toenails and the shoelace part of your back foot. This is a big stretch. If you haven't stretched the top of the foot in a long time or ever, you might send yourself into a foot cramp. If you do, stand on the ball of the foot to release that. So doing this a few times throughout the day, don't do a long hold, but hold a little bit and then release. So the tops of the feet don't get stretched very often. So it's good to do this a few times throughout the day. And then again, if you get a cramp, go to the ball of the foot and then stretching back. We also talked about foot massage. So be sure and include that in your daily foot exercises, taking the foot up, massaging all parts of the foot, separating the toes with your fingers, and it gets a little easier over time, bending the toes back, bending them forward, and then maybe even bending all of the toes without your fingers in, bending back. Turn the sole of the foot up and go the other way, so you're just twisting and turning the bones and the muscles of the foot, and then doing the same thing to the other foot. So again, you can hold these poses longer, you can massage your feet longer. I'm just giving you a quick overview, sliding the fingers between. And there's no right or wrong to this, you just work it until it feels like you've done something good for your feet, and then turning them up and turning them down. You could even pull on each toe and give it a stretch this way. You could even pound on the feet, wake them up a little, get some blood flow. Okay, that's it for your feet and your lower leg.